Yo, let's talk about the IRS, those tax-collecting wizards. You know, the folks who make sure Uncle Sam gets his cut. They're the ones who keep the financial gears of the government turning, ensuring that everything runs smoothly. But have you ever wondered what goes on behind the scenes? How do they manage to keep track of millions of taxpayers and their financial activities? They're like the financial detectives of the government, always watching, always calculating. Imagine a team of highly skilled professionals poring over documents, analyzing data, and making sure that every penny is accounted for. It's a massive operation, and it requires a lot of precision and attention to detail. Their job? To make sure we're all paying our fair share, keeping the country running. Without them, the government wouldn't have the funds to provide essential services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. It's a tough job, but someone's got to do it. Sounds simple, right? But here's the catch: to do their job, the IRS needs information, and lots of it. They need to gather data from various sources, cross-reference it, and ensure its accuracy. This means they have access to a vast amount of personal and financial information. Think about it. They need to know how much money you make, where it comes from, and what you do with it. Every paycheck, every bank statement, every financial transaction is a piece of the puzzle that helps them understand your financial situation. That's a lot of insight into your life, your choices, your whole financial situation. It's almost like they have a window into your personal finances, and they can see things that you might not even be aware of. Now, some people might say, Hassan, relax. It's just taxes. Everyone pays them. And yeah, that's true. But the question is, at what cost? How much of our personal information are we willing to share in order to comply with tax laws? And yeah, that's true. But the question is, at what cost? How much of our privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of a functioning government? It's a delicate balance between transparency and privacy, and it's something that we should all be aware of. How much of our privacy are we willing to sacrifice in the name of a functioning government? It's a question worth asking, because the IRS knows more about us than we might think. They have access to a treasure trove of data, and with great power comes great responsibility. It's a question worth asking because the IRS knows more about us than we might think, and the more information they have, the more potential there is for misuse, for overreach, for our personal data to be compromised. We trust them to handle our information with care, but what happens if that trust is broken? And the more information they have, the more potential there is for misuse, for overreach, for our personal data to be compromised. In an age where data breaches and cyber attacks are becoming more common, it's crucial to consider the implications of having so much sensitive information in one place. So buckle up, folks, because we're about to dive deep into the world of the IRS and find out just how much they really know. We'll explore the inner workings of this powerful agency, uncover the extent of their reach, and discuss what it means for our privacy and our society. Stay tuned, because this is going to be an eye-opening journey. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty details. What kind of information are we talking about here exactly? Well, the IRS collects a whole buffet of data about you. First off, they've got the basics: your name, address, social security number, all that jazz. Then it gets juicy. They know about your income, obviously, from all sources: wages, salaries, investments, even that side hustle you've got going on. And don't forget about your spending habits and patterns. Big purchases like buying a house or a car, the IRS knows. But wait, there's more. They also collect information about your dependents, your marital status, and even your charitable donations. Basically, if it has to do with your finances, the IRS probably has a file on it. And here's the kicker: they don't just get this information from you. Oh no, they cast a wide net, collecting data from employers, banks, financial institutions, you name it. So yeah, the IRS is building quite the comprehensive profile of your financial life. So, how does the IRS gather all this information? It's a question that might have crossed your mind, especially when you're knee-deep in tax forms and receipts. The IRS, or the Internal Revenue Service, has a multifaceted approach to collecting data, and it's more sophisticated than you might think. Well, they've got a whole arsenal of tools and techniques at their disposal. From traditional methods to cutting-edge technology, the IRS leaves no stone unturned. They employ a variety of strategies to ensure they have a comprehensive view of your financial activities. First up, we've got the classic tax returns. These are the forms you fill out every year, detailing your income, deductions, and credits. It's a treasure trove of information for the IRS, giving them a clear picture of your financial situation. You know, those forms we all love to procrastinate on? Yeah, those. They might be a headache for us, but for the IRS, they're like gold mines. Every line you fill out provides them with valuable data that they can use to verify your tax liability. Yeah, those are like gold mines for the IRS, but they don't stop there. The IRS has other ways to gather information about your financial activities, but they don't stop there. They also rely on third-party sources to get a fuller picture of your finances. This means they collect data from various entities that you interact with financially. The IRS also gets information from third-party sources, like your employer, who reports your income and withholdings. Every paycheck you receive is documented and reported to the IRS, ensuring they know exactly how much you've earned. Banks and financial institutions also report your investment income and other financial transactions. This includes interest earned on savings accounts, dividends from stocks, and any other financial gains. These reports help the IRS cross-check the information you provide on your tax return. And hold on tight, because this is where it gets really interesting. The IRS isn't just relying on traditional methods anymore. They're diving deep into the world of technology to enhance their data collection and analysis capabilities. The IRS is increasingly using technology to gather and analyze data. We're talking about advanced data analytics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. These technologies allow the IRS to process vast amounts of data quickly and accurately. We're talking data analytics, artificial intelligence, the whole shebang. These tools help the IRS identify patterns and anomalies that might indicate tax evasion or fraud. It's a level of scrutiny that was unimaginable just a few years ago. They're using these tools to track down tax evaders, identify patterns of fraud, and even predict your future tax liability. By analyzing historical data and current trends, the IRS can make educated guesses about your future financial behavior. It's like something out of Minority Report, but instead of predicting crime, they're predicting your tax bill. Imagine a world where the IRS knows your financial moves before you even make them. It's both fascinating and a little bit unsettling. So yeah, the IRS is getting pretty sophisticated in their data collection methods. From traditional tax returns to advanced AI, they're leveraging every tool at their disposal to ensure compliance and catch those who try to game the system. It's a brave new world of tax enforcement, and the IRS is leading the charge. Now, you might be thinking, hold up, Hassan, this is starting to sound a little creepy. And you wouldn't be alone in feeling that way. The idea of a government agency having access to so much of our personal information can be unsettling, to say the least. Why does the IRS need all this information? It's a valid question. Many people wonder why an agency needs to know so much about their financial lives. Is it really necessary for them to have such detailed records of our earnings, expenses, and even our charitable donations? The IRS argues that they need this data to ensure everyone is paying their fair share and to prevent tax fraud. They claim that without this information, it would be nearly impossible to catch those who are trying to cheat the system. By having access to detailed financial records, they can cross-check information and identify any discrepancies that might indicate fraudulent activity. They say that by collecting this information, they can identify discrepancies, catch tax cheats, and make sure everyone is playing by the rules. This, in turn, helps to maintain the integrity of the tax system and ensures that everyone is contributing their fair share to the public coffers. And to be fair, there is some logic to that argument. After all, if people were allowed to underreport their income or overstate their deductions without any oversight, the tax system would quickly become unfair and unmanageable. The revenue collected from taxes is essential for funding a wide range of government programs and services that benefit all of us. After all, tax revenue is essential for funding government programs and services that we all rely on. From public schools and hospitals to road construction and social services, the money collected through taxes plays a crucial role in maintaining and improving our communities. But here's the thing, the the line between necessary data collection and an invasion of privacy can be blurry. It's a delicate balance. On one hand, we want to ensure that everyone is paying their fair share and that the tax system is fair and effective. On the other hand, we don't want to give up too much of our personal privacy in the process. And when you have a powerful agency like the IRS with access to so much personal information, it's crucial to have safeguards in place to prevent abuse and protect our privacy rights. This means implementing strict regulations and oversight to ensure that the data collected is used appropriately and that individuals' privacy is respected. Because let's be real, nobody wants the IRS to know every single detail of their financial life unless it's absolutely necessary. It's a matter of finding the right balance between effective tax enforcement and protecting individual privacy. As we navigate this complex issue, it's important to keep the conversation going and to continually reassess the policies and practices in place to ensure they serve the best interests of everyone involved.